Hey guys, my name is Chazzy and I hope you are all well. I just wanted to sit down today and talk about how to go about making a great first impression or an impact in a job, especially a new job or a new department. So I start my new job tomorrow and I'm incredibly excited about going in, and having had a few jobs over the years, I just thought that I'd share some of the insights that I've learned as to how you can go about making a great first impression just to make your life easy when you're going through your probation period. I think that when you get your job offer and you've beaten all those other candidates to nab that job, it shows that the company are really keen to have you on board. So you don't want to make a mistake and fall short because you've kind of been a bit sloppy. So the first person that you have to impress is someone that's probably going to be external, but when you go to your work, and if it is an office, the first person who's external but has a lot of influence that you'll have to impress is the door staff. Whoever's downstairs by the door or the reception, be polite to them, be nice to them, be friendly to them, make them feel special, because I can guarantee you that when the senior management team go downstairs for their lunch breaks or to grab a coffee or when they're going to a meeting, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to ask the person downstairs what their first impression was of you and how you treated them. So don't make the schoolboy error of being really nervous and just being off with them, because their impression goes an incredibly long way. The next thing is, starting work is basically an interesting exercise whereby you know that you're the best person for the job, but you've got to convince everybody else within the wider team that you also deserve to be there and you're part of the team and you're part of the tribe. So if you struggle with making friends, I would definitely recommend that you read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have a copy of this book here. I feel like I'm a people person, so this is something that naturally comes to me. But going in tomorrow, I know what I have to do. First things first is I need to impress my line manager / my boss. I don't know what his background is and what his history is, but during the interview process, he alluded that he had a similar background to me, but I suspect that I've worked for more companies and been exposed to more things than he has. So my first thing is to basically sit down with him over a coffee, find out a bit more about him and what his background is, and from that I can start gleaning insights and ways that we can basically bond and have shared common experiences in our past lives, because this is the person who's going to be deciding what my probation review looks like, what my pay review looks like, what my performance review looks like. So having them on side and basically having a friend is very important. I also want them to know that when they look at me, I am the right-hand person. Also, the other thing that you need to possibly do is, and this is it might be a bit scary or intimidating, go out for a coffee with your CEO or managing director or CFO or whatever. Because I'm joining a small company, this is very easy. I think if you're senior leadership, this is kind of expected of you. If you're middle management, showing that you want to go into senior leadership, this is something that you should also be doing. So I know from my interview process which areas my managing director wants me to focus on. He mentioned that he expects me to make an impact from day one, so I know what I'm going in to do. So if you're basically struggling on how to make a great impact immediately, I would say go on the company's website and just have a look at the demo of their product. If you already have experience, what kind of works and what doesn't? What features is their product missing? And if you basically are a graduate coming into the work environment, use your logic, use your common sense. In fintech, we love logic and common sense. If you can look at someone's website and demo of their product and say, actually, it's missing X, Y, Z, that's amazing. Like, that's you making an immediate impact and bringing your ideas to the forefront from day one. When you've been working on a project for a very long time, it's amazing how tunnel visioned you get and how many features and kind of processes, I guess, get forgotten along the way whilst you're trying and to deliver and implement all the various things that you are required to do as a business. So I'd definitely say spend some time looking at the website, reading the Trustpilot reviews, as well as also looking on the LinkedIn page as well as Glassdoor reviews, just so you're a bit more prepared for the environment going in, as well as being in a position to have an opinion as to how the product is and how it works. And if you want to be like an A-star student, I would definitely recommend looking at competitors' product demos as well, just to see what it is they're doing well, what it is you think that the business could also implement, and just showing that you've got an awareness of the competitors and the landscape will definitely set you in good stead. So it's now your first day in the office, you've made a great impression with the door staff, and you've had your coffee chat with your boss, and you've got a few coffees booked in during the week. What's the next thing you should do? Find out who your main stakeholders are and reach out to their team managers or head of departments and arrange a coffee chat with them, just to understand what goals they're working towards and what their OKRs look like for the quarter. If you understand what their OKRs look like for the quarter, how they're going to go about achieving them, and if there's a place where you can kind of think of ways to support them, you're already integrating yourself within the team and also showing that you can be collaborative. When there's a new person in the team, absolutely everybody loves to know a bit more about them because everyone's a bit nosy. When you're dealing with the sales team, which might come in the guise of partnerships or I don't know, whatever it is, or enterprise sales guys love talking about themselves. So if you have a coffee chat with them, they'll appreciate it. And in my case, they're going to be my main everyday stakeholders, and we're going to have to work together to make deals happen. So getting friendly with them and getting close to them from the outset is a great way for me to start building those relationships outside of the work environment, because at some point we are going to have differing opinions and we are going to clash. So I need to figure out what sets these people off. So if we are disagreeing, we're disagreeing with each other in a constructive manner, whereby we might be disagreeing with each other and 5 minutes later we're agreeing with each other and making great things happen. Definitely have a journal and a notebook to jot down all these amazing ideas and all these things you are seeing and hearing, just so you've got something in place, just to remind you of certain process improvements, or maybe like an end of week email that you might want to send. The other thing I need to know in my particular job is all the company's policies. One of the things we all have to do is obviously onboarding. When it comes to onboarding, odds are your office manager is managing this process. Make sure that you're providing them with all your ID documents in a timely manner, all the payroll information in a timely manner, because the quicker you respond to them, the easier your life will be. Another thing you'll find about the office manager is their impression really matters. So make sure that you make them feel all good and fluffy inside. And because usually they're looking at CVs and they're also coordinating the diary of the CEO, therefore they know everything that's happening in absolutely every single meeting. And if you need some early allies in those early days, they are the perfect ally you can go to, and also they're the people that know the systems better than everyone in the individual team. So if you need someone to point you in the right direction, definitely they will be your main point of call. So make their lives as easy and as stress-free as possible. If they ask you to do something, do it straight away. Yes, it will usually be admin, but do it while smiling and thanking them for their help, because it honestly does go a long way. One of the things you have to be very good at when making friends is giving compliments and good feedback where it's due. And if there's not so great feedback at this point, nobody owes you anything and you don't owe anyone anything. So when you usually give good thought out feedback, the business do take it seriously. Be careful that you don't become that negative person who comes in and tries to change the whole operation to make it look like the place they previously worked. No, sorry, that's not what you're there to do. You're there to have all this knowledge that you've built up over the years and use this leverage. But when you walk through the doors for the very first time, forget everything that you've learned. Your knowledge is there and that's why they've brought you in. But just look at the business as it is and understand the culture of the place, understand how the operating rhythm flows. And your job is to get into their flow. And once you're in their flow and they trust you and you're part of the tribe, then you can start pulling some of your gems out. And obviously if you've got a little trick, you know, a little razzle dazzle to pull out straight away and it doesn't cause offense and it basically gives you brownie points, why wouldn't you? So I definitely recommend that you pull that out of your hat. Talking to the developers and the engineers, the people that are building the products, is so incredibly important within your first couple of weeks in the organization. These guys are always busy, but one of the things I always am pleasantly surprised with is how much fun and how much time and how much I enjoy spending time with the technical guys on the team. They've got a very, very unique way of thinking. So the tech guys will always tell you what projects they're working on, what's on their timeline, on the horizon, and that allows you to kind of like start thinking what projects do you want to get involved in and how will they help you meet your objectives and how do your objectives feed into the client's overall goals and aspirations. So you're always thinking about that success framework. If you go in with a positive mindset, I think at the end of the week, if there are beers at the pub, even if you don't drink, it might be worthwhile just going to the pub just for one Coca-Cola, 1 pint or 2, not any more than that, just to kind of say, yep, we've done the week, and just get like, you know, informal feedback, because that's so helpful. And sometimes kind of having this tribal method where everyone just talks nonsense, the challenges they have in like a neutral environment, I think that helps you build up some very, very strong relationships with the wider team. So if you are starting a new job or you're thinking of starting a new job, I hope you can use some of these hints and tips to help you out in your new venture. Now that I've gone through my list, what kind of hints and tips did you guys give me in order to make a first impression? Please leave your comments down below, and if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. See you soon guys, take care. Mwah.